So my name is William Dean. I'm a senior now, and I go to Miami Country Day. Well, probably before this summer, I had already taken like one or two SATs, and my scores were in like the 1300s, and I realized, and it was like my math that was like in the 600s, and I realized that like I obviously needed some program over the summer to get my scores up. And one of my friends actually referred me to the program and he like said that they have great results and then that's how I got introduced. Mm, I had done one tutoring program before this, but it was like more brief and like not as it wasn't as like long and concentrated compared to Visa Pi. Math has always kind of been like a weaker point for me. I mean, I say this as I'm in AP Calc BC, but it's like I've always been in a higher math class, but like it's always because I've worked very hard, not because math naturally comes to me. But it was like the same situation where like the SAT is just I needed to really just put in the time and the work and the effort to get the score that I wanted. So just for college, right? I needed to get like as high a score as I could to be as competitive as I can for the schools I'm applying to. And that was pretty much my biggest motivation. Probably not that like it was not the content. It wasn't that I couldn't understand the content. It was more that I just needed something to really like anchor me down into what I could improve on, what I was good at, what I really needed help with, and just like the extensive resources that through practice and tutoring, things like that, and Piece of Pie provided all of it. I mean, I didn't know much about it coming in. My friend who referred me just said like, "Oh, it's a lot of work and very time consuming," which, it was summertime. I mean, I also had other responsibilities, but obviously not as much compared to like the school year. So I realized that like getting the score that I wanted was something that was like on my top list of priorities. So I knew that it would be very time consuming, and I guess like obviously it was like a bit scary because it's a whole thing, but I was ready to take on the workload. And yeah, I don't think I was too worried about anything necessarily. It was mostly just, waking up every day and like doing the work. I mean, sometimes there would be days where like between other things that I had to do, I would just maybe like submit an assignment a day or two late. But besides that, I was able to just put in enough effort to the point where I could make time to, follow along, go to every class, and just make sure I'm up to date with all my work. I mean, like usually when I've done tutoring before, it's been virtual, so the virtual part wasn't super anything new. Usually before when I've done tutoring, it's been one-on-one. So I guess like when I went into like a group setting, maybe at first I was a bit like worried about that I wouldn't be able to get like all the like attention and help that I needed. But my group was literally like three or four kids, including me, most of the time. So it was literally just like it was super personalized, and all the kids in my class were like usually on the same like level as me, so it's not like I was in a class with people who were going way too fast for me or people going way too slow for me, so it really was like not a big concern as the program went on. And like usually when I've done touring before, it's been like an hour, maybe a few times a week instead of like 4 hours one times a week. Teach you to like keep up that discipline. I mean, like the test is like 2 hours long, so it does keep you to like once a week to be able to like it keeps up like your mindset and your work mentality to be like, okay, I have to sit down and concentrate for 4 hours. And that, besides like the math part of it, that kind of helps with like your mindset of like, you have to do the hard thing for the test. I had Brianna as my tutor throughout the thing, throughout the course. Bri, she was super helpful, like explaining every concept I needed, um, and was just overall like a great tutor throughout. I know like the way Pizza Pie does it is like the tutors are like graduates of the program who they invited. So it's like not really. It's like I know this person in the past couple of years went through the same thing that I did, studied for the test and took the test. So I mean sometimes like if the tutor's super old, they could be kind of like detached from what it's like to actually be like taking the test. So them having like just taken the test in the past couple of years also I think that kind of helps the experience. And even like the tutors were saying when they're like talking about colleges, like all of them are like pretty much going to great colleges. So you know that they're for me at least, I was like, okay, yeah, they're qualified to be tutoring. So it was never a concern for me. I mean just the homework, like I guess I would have to say that just the constant workload is just like it helps. I mean, you really have to be willing to put in the work and the time, but just always having a mock homework classes, like while it's annoying, I guess during summer, it paid off a lot for the test because I always knew what I was doing, and like even in the first couple of weeks when I took like the first mock, I was already noticing improvements from before. So it's just you're so like ingrained in doing math every day, I guess. I don't know if that's a way to say it, that it just becomes when you're taking the test, it becomes like second nature of like, oh, I know this problem, I've done it a million times already, and just things like that. And the questions, it's not even like the concepts that they teach you are similar. No, they give you questions that are exactly like the same format as how the ones on the test are. So my final score in math was a 760, which I was super happy with because before the program, I had like a 640 or 650, I'm pretty sure. So I know for like I improved over 100 points. I think it was like 120 points I improved, which by like normal means and 120 points in 2 months is like really good. So, it was just like before summer, if you were to ask me, I would be like, oh, if I could even get like a 700 on math, I'd be like, oh, I would take that. But then putting in the work, I got a 760, which like I never thought I would be able to get before the program. Well, definitely took this like a lot of the stress off of senior year. I mean, I know even a few kids who are like still struggling to get like the scores that they want. More for the ACT, but like all my friends who took the SAT are already done. But like it just took a lot of like stress off because I took the August test. So by the time my school started, I was ready. Like I had taken the tests already, and then I got my score back, and then it was just like I don't have to worry about it anymore, you know? Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, yeah, it's not cheap, but for what I got for 2 months of constant tutoring, constant pages and pages of work every day, like the value is 100% there, I would say, because in like other tutoring programs that I've done before have been like literally around the same cost and provided like a fraction of the value that Piece of Pie does. So I would say it's definitely worth the investment. No, I would probably say it's a 10. I mean, like for someone like me who's like willing to put in the work, maybe they're not even like the best at math, you know, they don't even need to be that good. They don't even need to be like a special math person or in the highest classes or anything. But if you just have, I would definitely recommend the program over summer for someone who's doing it, like to do it between if you're going into your senior year without having the score you want already, I would say that Piece of Pie during the summer is probably the best thing you could do. I mean, like if I tried to do Piece of Pie during my junior year, I would just not be able to manage the workload. But like if you're going into your senior year and you have the time, like I think that's one of the best ways that you can invest your time in the summer if you need the score. I was gonna say even maybe someone like going the summer before their junior year between 10th and 11th if they want to get the SAT done or like out of the way already and they feel like they're ready to begin like their prep. I'd probably recommend that too if the person wants to do it. Like if you are willing to put in the time, like you don't even need to worry about like, oh, am I smart enough for this? No, just if you have the time and you're willing to put in the work every day for hours, then like it's not even like you need to because there Piece of Pie is always helping you and giving you the resources that you need. So you just need to do the work. You know, you don't need to go find the work. You don't need to go to a bunch of different websites to try and study. They give you the exact material that you need to study and all the resources that you need to succeed. Like Piece of Pie will give you every single th resource you need to succeed, from the calculator they give you to the test methods to like tricks to save you time on the test. Everything you need as long as you listen to them and put in the work. I think like getting a good score is almost guaranteed.